What's up, business owners, and welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas Business Owner Series. I am so happy that you all decided to rejoin me again today. And also, if you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, make sure you go back to my previous video where I was talking about organizational tips that will help get you back on track for the rest of 2022 and keep you running nice and smooth for 2023. So once you're done watching that video, come on back to this one. But for those of you who are already caught up, we need to go ahead and get started on today's topic. Now, I am a big lover of productivity tips, and this is coming from someone who is and can still kind of be a major procrastinator, but I have found that my procrastination has dropped at least about 10% because I started incorporating a lot of the tips that I'm going to share with you today. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so my first tip for increasing your productivity for the rest of this year, but obviously for 2023, is to work smarter and not harder. For a lot of people, that can mean a lot of different things, but for me, specifically trying to help you all out there, what that means is you're going to start working in the times where you are the most alert and the times that work best for you. That looks different from one person to the next. So let me give you all a little tip as to what I do. So I, believe it or not, can get the most work and the best work done late at night. And when I say late at night, I'm not talking about between 6 to 7 p.m. I'm talking 10 p.m. to like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I tell you this because my sleeping schedule is completely wonky now that I'm working from home. And I think it's really important that we remove this illusion that when you work from home, it has to look like a regular 9 to 5. No, it doesn't. I am blessed again to have clients that respect my working schedule. And as long as I get my assignments in the day they're due, they are really not tripping over when I turn my work in or not. So that's when I can get the most of my work done. I can get a lot of rest in whenever I need to, work out if I need to, eat healthier, obviously. But most importantly, it's just about working in my zone of genius and finding the times that work best for me. Obviously, if there's things that I have to get done in the morning, or if there are things that are just needed to be done at a 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, obviously that's best, and that's when I have to be awake. But ultimately, my best time is I'm a night owl. So if you're a night owl, whoop whoop, drop an owl or a hoot hoot in the comments for me. And if you're a morning person or a morning bird, you can feel free to leave a little morning emoji down there in the comments as well. And there's nothing wrong with either one. You just have to find the best time that works for you. So stop trying to force yourself to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. If that's not your thing, it's not your thing. There are hundreds of different videos that you'll find about teaching you to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning if that is a genuine goal that you really, really want for yourself. But if you've tried it before and your work has suffered because of it, just work at the times that work better for you. And I promise you will be a lot better and you'll be much happier with your work and how your productivity increases because you're in a time zone that works the best for you. Also, side tangent for this tip about working smarter and not harder is write things down. You have no idea how many times I've missed out on really good ideas, or I've forgotten about a task that a client and I were talking about in the middle of a meeting because I was like, I'll remember it when we're done. No, you won't. Make sure you always have a sticky note nearby, or if you are done with pen and paper, always keep your phone and some notes ready to go next to you. I promise you it'll help you out in the long run. Okay, tip number 2 is to stop multitasking. I know for the longest time, I feel like this is like a Mythbusters, because I know a lot of times we hear the more tasks you can get done at one time, the more you can get your work done. And that's absolutely not true. If you are giving your attention to more than one task at a time, you are going to suffocate yourself mentally when it comes to your work, and you are not going to be happy. So please make sure that you focus on what's most important at that time and then move on to the next task once that other task is completed. Because I don't know about you all, and I hope this is a real thing, but I start suffering from work guilt. If I'm in the middle of working on a task and I either think about something else and stop working on that task that I was originally working on to go work on something else, immediately I start feeling bad because neither one of those tasks are going to get done to the fullest extent of my working abilities, right? So make sure that you set a time to work on certain things. And The benefit and the beautiful part about working from home is that you can actually start tracking your own working and your own productivity. Here's a mini story that I think can help everyone. When I was working a regular traditional job, I thought that the best times for me to work was from 8 to 5, and I had all of my work done and I had different times sectioned out for certain things. But unfortunately, the environment is what pushed my ability to work, not my own discipline in getting the work done. So when I started working from home, I had a very difficult time, one, waking up when I didn't feel like it, and two, getting the work done when I really was struggling trying to figure out what needed to go where, how do I actually do this, and thirdly, it really helped me understand that there are some tasks that I just cannot do at a certain time. It's not because I can't do it, it's just my ability to do it to the fullest potential is not there. And I think ultimately that's what productivity is all about. It's about figuring out the times that you can do the best work and get it done at the best way possible. So, my little mini tangent to basically tell you that it's not about multitasking, it's about getting multiple tasks done. That just revolves around finding the perfect time and working in the right time. Meaning, if you want to try, you should do a 2 hours on, 30 minutes off. So that means 2 hours of just working nonstop, maybe having a couple of snacks around you so you can stay hydrated with your water and also obviously keeping your energy up. But then once you're done with those 2 hours working on that one task, not multitasking at all, you take a 30-minute break. Go on social media, watch a TV show, maybe go outside for a walk if it's not too cold. And then you go right back after your 30 minutes is up and you work on another task. For some people, working in these cycles has helped tremendously, and you just have to figure out what cycle works best for you. Track yourself. See how long it takes you to complete a social media calendar for my social media managers out there, or see how long it takes you to handle bookkeeping for a client for all of my bookkeepers or my accountants out there. Track yourself and see what extra time is available, and then maybe you can even start your break early and divide the time up for tasks that you maybe don't like doing, but you know will take a longer time. I promise you, dividing your time up into work cycles will be so much better for you. And that leads me to my next tip. Tip number 3 is to take breaks and take them often. Look, you are working from home. There is no manager breathing over you, micromanaging you, telling you when you can and cannot take your breaks. And for some people, that's a good thing, but for those workaholics out there, it can possibly be a little detrimental if there's not someone or something reminding you to stop working so you can actually recover, right? You don't want to get caught up in this mentality of always having to get your work done and not stopping. Believe me, I learned, if you've watched one of my original videos back that I released in November about how I completely burned out and I had to stop due to health issues, I am telling you, you don't want to get to that point. Take breaks and take them often. And a break can mean anything to a lot of people. It can be a nap. It can be a snack. Again, it could be something that you maybe you want to work out. Maybe you have some health goals that you want to reach, but you've been working too hard and there's not enough time. Well, now you're going to make that time. Find the best methods to take your breaks. And for those of you who are not keen on break taking, or you think that it decreases your productivity, there are lots of studies that show when you actually give your body time to relax and recuperate, you can jump back into your work a lot stronger and a lot easier than if you had just worked 10 hours straight with no breaks or limited stopping in between, and now your rest is affected or your energy levels are lower the next day because your body didn't have an actual time to reset and recharge. So please take your breaks often, because like I said last time, if you don't take a break, your body will make you, and you don't want to get there. Tip number 4 is probably one of my favorite tips because I love apps, and I think that finding the apps that can keep you active and on track with your productivity are going to be A1. Now, I do have a separate video dedicated specifically to what apps you will be able to use, which ones offer free trials, or which ones are definitely worth the money. So make sure you keep watching this series so you can stay up to date on which software apps I've used and or the ones that I am going to be using in the future and highly recommend. But I will go ahead and throw it out there. Whatever apps are dedicated to productivity. There are a lot of them. You just have to find the ones that work best for you. Take a leap of faith, try a free trial, and see what happens. You might notice that your productivity increases based off of the different features they offer. A few of them also have compartmentalizing features. So that means that you can section your task off based off of low, medium, or high priorities. You can set timers for certain things to go off, and it can even maybe signal other teammates when your tasks are complete. Obviously, you all know I'm a huge Asana fan. I've loved Asana for the longest time, and I don't see myself not using Asana in the future. So that is just one little inkling as to one of the apps that I use to increase my productivity, but there are a lot of others that you'll be surprised that are already installed on your phone that you can use right now to help you stay on track. So make sure you keep watching the series because that video will be definitely trickling down the pipeline. Tip number 5, cannot stress this one enough either. Work in an environment that encourages work. Now, for some people, I know the glitz and glam of working from home looks like I'm in my pajamas, I'm drinking coffee in my bed while I'm watching Grey's Anatomy in the background. And for some people, that works. But for some of us others who think our bed is meant for sleeping and like to sleep in it, I don't think we can get our work done in our bed. So find a place in your house that makes you feel the most productive. In my house, we have gaming stations, and a lot of us also have a lot of space. We have our own office spaces. That is where I can actually get the most of my work done. It is cold and it's quiet. There's a little bit of white noise in the background, and that is how I can get the most of my working done. When it comes to recording my videos, I do them all the time right here in my office because my backdrop is just way so cute, right? But also because I love the way that my room is set up. There's no distractions, and I can really, really focus on my sound and making sure that I get all my information out with limited to no noise in the background. So figure out what works for you, decide on the environments that you want, and if you have a big family or if you have dogs or children, make sure that everybody is aware and knows that this is the time for you to get your work done. This is not an environment for play. So try to keep the clutter out as well, which goes back to the organizational tips that I was talking about yesterday, where some people might be able to work in a messy space, but make sure it's a messy workspace. Or if you want to really challenge yourself, try to keep your office and your work area clean. Or if it gets messy, just try to clean it up before you start doing your work. And that way, that motion of getting into the mindset of work will keep you on track and again prevent you from having a very, very cluttered work mind. And that's the video. So I really hope that you found these productivity tips helpful. And again, I'm going to be dropping all of the different resources and a few articles that might help you find some new tips that I didn't cover in this video in my description box below. Again, if you are a night owl, leave me an owl emoji, or if you're a morning bird, leave me a sun or a morning emoji. And for those of you who have your favorite productivity apps or softwares that you like to use, make sure you go ahead and drop those in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe and hit that ding bell notification so you don't miss another time that I upload. And for all of my business owners out there, I will see you all tomorrow for our 12 Days of Christmas Business Owner Series. Bye.